Welcome to the St. Charles County Correspondent. I'm Sam Saffa. I'm joined always with my co-host, Noah Brandt. Noah, it's raining here in St. Charles County. It feels like May. It was very cold recently, but we're, I think, over the edge of that. I think we're back in 70s and 80s.
Yeah, had a bit of a cold snap, right, Sam? A little bit of a May cold snap, but maybe we're back into good weather. You having a good week, Sam?
So far, so good. Noah, I can't wait to talk about a couple of our stories. One in particular is unique. From our friends at Fox 2 News, and I'm sure some of you have already seen this, but the first of its kind in Missouri, the Darting Creek Blueway, opens on Friday, which is this week. And here's what it is. It's an all-natural destination for water recreation. It's called the Darting Creek Blueway, and what it is it's a multi-activity recreational trail, and then they've added a bunch of water experiences. So you know how you go down to the Merrimack and you've got to drive 100 hours, Noah, to go anywhere on the
Of
river.
course.
This
Yeah,
this
and
is
drop a tube in or a canoe.
Yeah, this is going to be right
Yeah.
here in St. Charles County.
So this is for that type of thing. This is for like tubing and canoeing, or for swimming mostly.
Kayakers and canoeists can now go
Mm.
nonstop
Never
from
heard that word before in my life. Canoeist. I like that. Yeah.
canoeists. They can go
I think that you're the canoeist.
Perhaps I don't have a canoe, but they can go from Lakeside Park in St. Peters all the way down for 3 miles down to St. Charles. You
Wow.
basically go from
Oh,
St.
that's pretty
Peters.
cool.
It is really cool.
Okay, that's funny. What's our timeline on this?
It opens this week. They've been working on it for a long time. There's going to be kayak rentals. There's going to be an RV campground coming soon. I mean, this is really the latest and greatest from the St. Charles County Parks Department, and it kind of was under the radar. I had no idea until this
I
week.
hadn't heard of this. Yeah.
The mayor of St. Peters has weighed in. He's excited. So it looks like it's in St. Peters proper. It's not like an unincorporated St. Charles County. You sort of think of waterways, Noah, you think of like Augusta or Defiance, unincorporated
Sure.
St. Charles. But this is inside city limits. I wonder why it's called the Darting Creek Blueway. I guess because of the creek,
Yeah.
presumably.
I guess so. When you hear that, you almost think like it's going to be like in Darden Prairie,
Right.
not in St. Peters. But that seems like a lot of fun. And so it's in St. Peters. Do they have an address on there, Sam?
They don't have an address yet, but I'll link to it in the story that we're going to do this week. And there's a
Good.
really cool I mean, the picture
Just follow the river. Just find the river and then
is
follow it.
is pretty cool. It looks like
Mm.
it's a strong body of water. For those listening, I just put it up on the screen. It's a
It
big.
looks like something between a tranquil stream and a whitewater rapids. Right in the middle.
Right, right. They tell us to link
Yeah.
to the Parks Department, which we will do, and we'll have pictures for you and more details. I'm sure there will be more things coming. I'm sure you know how the Katy Trail has pop-ups, restaurants and bike rentals. I'm sure that they'll start like its own economy really down there. But this week it opens on Friday. So by the time this recording
Mm.
comes out, it'll be tomorrow.
Wow. Well, that sounds fantastic, Sam. That sounds like a real fun thing. We'll link to that. A great little summer program for the people of St. Charles County. Am I right?
I think so.
And man, the St. Charles County Parks Department. I mean, they really do a nice job. they're
They
putting they're
do.
putting a lot of work in.
Yeah, I've been down to the Merrimack River a couple times, but every time it's like a full day thing because it's so far
Yeah,
away. And I'm
yeah,
sure several of our listeners experience the same thing. If you want to go out on the river, you got to take a hike. But now it's right down the street, 20 minutes from Wentzville, 10 minutes, 5 minutes from O'Fallon.
yeah. That's a great point, Sam. Well, Sam, did you hear anything about some of the ongoing news with Boeing? Boeing is a huge manufacturer and employer in the St. Louis area, right? They're the plane company. They make like civilian planes like the 737, which if you ever fly Southwest, that's what you're flying on. But they
Interesting.
also make a lot of military hardware, and a lot of that. Some of those Boeing planes are manufactured right here in the St. Louis area, specifically the F-15s and F/A-18 Super Hornets. And they've been sort of like the main fighter jet for the military for the past 30 years. But that plane has been aging, and the military has been trying to design a new plane. They have a new plane called the F-35 that is manufactured by a different company called Lockheed Martin, not Boeing, so it has nothing to do with St. Louis. And the St. Louis Post-Dispatch did a great story this week on how the military is buying way less of these planes that are manufactured in St. Louis, way less of these F-15s and FA-18s. And that not only affects Boeing proper, which is in St. Louis, but it affects all of these companies that supply Boeing, because these federal government contracts are pretty well paying, since they are steady and you're building a really expensive piece of machinery. So this piece interviews some businesses in Jefferson County, but also has some great quotes from a business in St. Charles County. Judy Burns, who's the president of Patriot Machine in St. Charles, uh, she said she has 160 employees. Just about all of them are working on building the metal skeletons for these planes. And the sort of the big news is that usually the military will order more than 20 or 30 of these planes a year. This year they've only confirmed 12, so it's already going down a lot, and there's a danger that next year they might even be only buying zero. And Judy Burns of Patriot Machine in St. Charles says it's not good for Boeing, it's not good for us, and I don't think it's good for the United States. And it goes on to quote her a little bit more, and some other folks in Jefferson County and St. Louis County who work on these ancillary businesses that supply Boeing. But it's definitely going to be a challenge, especially if they end up cutting the program entirely. The Post Dispatch estimates there could be more than 3 or 4 thousand jobs that are tied, not even to people who are manufacturing directly for Boeing, who they think probably are going to be able to move on to making other planes, but people who are working in these ancillary business, supplying them with different components that build the military hardware. And I think the point that Judy's making, and that a lot of other folks make in that article, is that the F-35, which is this plane that's supposed to replace the F-16 for the military, just to put it lightly, has had a lot of issues. It's had a lot of issues with rollout. It's been designed for many years. There are quite a few of them flying now, but they've had some reliability problems for the F-16, even though they've been around since like the 80s. They're extremely reliable. And something they mentioned multiple times is that the F-16 has never lost a dogfight. Though I'm not sure if there's been a whole lot of dogfights since the 1980s going across the country. But we will keep looking at the story, right, Sam, and updating people on the important manufacturing jobs that are tied to this plane manufacturer.
Where can folks find the article you're referencing, Noah? Where can they find that?
Well, they're going to find it in our newsletter, Sam. We'll link to it with the St. Louis Post Dispatch. They did great work on it, and we'll add a little bit more context, and then we will keep following it. So I know it must be, just even for the people, right, who are working at this Patriot Machine in St. Charles. There's 160 people. It must be kind of scary that your whole job depends on the government wanting to buy more of these planes. And they talk about some of these businesses trying to maybe pivot towards making other things, or being a part, but it's like, even if they're able to do that, right, they probably won't need as many employees as they have now, which is also a scary thought.
Hmm. Well, folks can read more at the Post Dispatch or at our newsletter. Thanks for flagging that for us, Noah. And
Yeah,
one
Sam.
other story that I have for us, which I think is amazing. The headline is: the St. Charles County gas station employees protected a bloody
Mm.
man during an attack. Here's what happened. In St. Peter's, a man is in custody for assaulting a person. There was a guy on Friday, May 20th, at a gas station in St. Charles, and they came running down. This guy with a bloodied head came running down to this gas station and said someone was chasing him. And the gas station employees basically took the guy inside and protected him from his would be assailant. I understand that the guy who was chasing the man who was bloodied, he came down, broke the glass door, and it forcibly entered this gas station. And police officers found him drinking a bottle of rum in the liquor aisle,
Oh my.
which is interesting.
Wow.
But um,
That
the
is interesting.
employees were rendering aid to this first gentleman who had been assaulted by an unnamed object, presumably something that would cause you to have blood on your head. And so this is just, I think, exemplary of
Good for them. They're like
stepping
heroes.
up in a time of need. Yeah, you're working a gas station. I'm sure a gas station is always pretty exciting. I don't think there's a
Yeah.
dull moment really to get. But this I think takes it a step above. Good on these guys for seeing a need, protecting someone who clearly needed help, and sort of helping him until the police arrived. They said
Yeah, absolutely.
the employees and the victim retreated to the rear of the store behind a locked door.
Wow. Does this article talk more about the assailant, what he was up to?
No, no, I mean, he was
Yeah.
charged, by the St. Charles County prosecutor with 2 counts of third-degree assault, 2 counts of fourth-degree assault, and a first-degree property damage, and a first-degree trespassing, and stealing the bottle of rum. So,
Okay, well, he was,
presumably so.
sounds like he was adequately charged.
Um,
If we know anything about the St. Charles County prosecuting attorney, I bet that guy spent a night in jail.
we just did a story on yeah, on
And I bet you he's not from St. Charles County.
well, I kudos to these employees who, saw a need and they stepped up to the plate. Good on them.
Yeah, that's right. I know. I agree, Sam. Did you have one more story you wanted to hit
Just
us with before we go to our shot of
Just
gratitude?
one thing to flag. Somebody in St.
Yeah.
Charles County Middle School has tested positive for tuberculosis,
Oh.
which,
Oh, yeah. I saw this. What do we have any context on that?
no, we really don't. The disease is,
We just have
we
the
just have the
fact.
fact. I'm just flagging it for us. The disease is spread through the air during prolonged or repeated close contact with someone, so it's not very infectious, as I understand it. It's not spread by shaking someone's hand. And of course, the tuberculosis was associated 50 or 60 years ago as a cause for concern, but I think there are ways to treat that, and so we will of course keep that infected person on top
Did
of
it
our
flag the school, Sam, or just at a school in the county?
just as St. Charles, Hollenbach Middle School.
I have no
I
idea where
have
that
no idea
is.
where that is either. I don't have kids in middle school.
Wow, and Sam is a real local expert. So does that school exist? If that school exists, let us know. Well, I hope the kid with tuberculosis gets better. I really really do. Sam, every week on the show we talk about something that is making us smile. What's been making you smile this week?
No, I'll tell you, it's been a lot of fun taking care of my yard. It is sort of it's
Yes,
my go-to gratitude, and
you're
I
good at
don't
it.
I you don't realize how much you miss being outside in the sun until you don't have it anymore. And this winter, we've
Mm,
talked about it. It was a long
you
winter.
don't know what you got till it's
It was a
gone.
cold
Yeah.
winter. I'm just glad to be
Yep.
back
Yep.
outside. I'm not doing a whole lot in my yard, but I just like mowing it and mulching it and keeping the weeds away. Seems it's like a little area you can control and make nice, and I like that.
Sam worked in lawn
I
care
did.
early in
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
life,
I
so
actually
you
enjoyed
you
it.
you have some professional
Yeah,
experience.
I do.
There you
What
go.
about you, Noah?
Well, Sam, there is we've talked about this before, but I'm a big fan of local drive-through coffee spots, and there's a new one opening up in St. Peter's this month. It's going to be called Exit 11 Drive-Through Coffee House. It's going to be located at 5230 uh, Missouri 94 on the parking lot of the J. Bloom Designs corporate campus. Can you imagine that in your head? The J. Bloom Designs corporate campus on Highway 94?
Is this like one of those really tiny, like barely fits one person inside to make the coffee type of thing?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a little hut,
I love those.
that you drive through. They'll do, and it's local. They'll do coffee and all day breakfast. This is interesting. The first one opened up in 2015 in Washington, Missouri. Since then, they've opened up two other locations, but this will be the first location outside of Franklin County. This is a local business concept from our sister county to the what direction is
South.
that? North,
Maybe
south.
they'll put
Yeah,
one in
there we
Augusta.
go. That'd be maybe David Hoffman or David Hoffman's sons, Jeff and Greg, will buy Exit 11 Drive to Coffee. So anyway, I look forward to trying that. I love Mudslingers is a favorite of mine, which is a drive to coffee shop that's just a one off right here in O'Fallon. And we also have Scooters, but that's I think a nationwide chain, but they've been opening up a lot of those in St. Charles County. So we look forward to trying this new coffee shop in St. Peter. Sam, take us away.
Thanks, Noah. Guys, our audience, thank you for listening. Thanks for watching this. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, if you like the show, you can drop us a comment, leave us a review. Those are always helpful for us. And if you have feedback, we'd love to hear it. Or if there's something you'd like us to talk about or discuss, SCCC, which is correspondent, SCC correspondent, so 3 C's in there, at gmail.com. You can also sign up for our newsletter at sccc.substack.com. And soon you'll be able to find us on the web. We have some changes coming there. We're excited to share them with you. And as always, thank you for listening to the St. Charles County Correspondent. I'm Sam Saffa, and I'm joined with Noah Brandt.